In the glittering world of entertainment, surprises are rare. Every move, every word, and even every smile is scrutinized under the unforgiving spotlight of fame. Yet, one moment involving actress Tan Songyun, a moment so breathtakingly unexpected, left not just her fans but the entire industry speechless. It wasn't a scandal, nor was it a career-defining announcement. It was a gift. A single, mysterious present that arrived quietly, without a name, and shattered the calm of her otherwise carefully measured world. The story began on an ordinary morning. Tan Songyun, known for her radiant energy and effortless charm, had been filming late into the night. When she returned to her apartment, exhausted yet fulfilled, she noticed something unusual waiting at her door. A neatly wrapped box sat there, gleaming under the faint hallway light. No delivery tag. No sender's name. Just a gift, silent, mysterious, and unassuming, yet somehow powerful enough to alter the rhythm of her life. Curiosity sparked immediately. Her hands trembled slightly as she lifted the box, feeling its unexpected weight. For someone like Tan Songyun, who constantly received fan letters, flowers, and luxury items from brands, this gift was different. It carried an energy, personal, intimate, and almost haunting. Inside, the box revealed a velvet case. She paused, her heartbeat accelerating. Slowly opening it, she found not jewelry, not money, not luxury perfume, but something that spoke directly to her soul, a delicate, hand-carved wooden music box. The craftsmanship was exquisite, every curve telling a story. When she wound it up, a melody floated into the air, familiar yet faint, the kind of tune that tugs at forgotten corners of memory. Her eyes widened as she realized it was the lullaby her mother used to sing to her as a child. Her breath caught. This wasn't just a gift. It was a message. But from whom? News of the mysterious present spread quickly. A staff member who had been with her that night accidentally leaked the detail of the music box to a close friend, and within hours, whispers began circulating through the industry. Fans speculated wildly. Was it a secret admirer? A fellow actor? An old flame? Or perhaps someone from her past who knew the deepest parts of her history? Social media erupted, with hashtags like #TanSongyunSecretGift and #WhoSentTheMusicBox trending almost instantly. At a promotional event the next day, journalists bombarded her with questions. Cameras flashed, reporters leaned in, microphones nearly touching her face. Who gave it to you? What does it mean? Is it a romantic gesture? But Tan Songyun, with her trademark gentle smile, simply replied, "Some gifts aren't meant to be explained. They're meant to be felt." That answer, simple yet enigmatic, sent the public into a frenzy. If anything, it deepened the mystery. Behind the scenes, however, the story grew darker. The melody that played from the box wasn't just any lullaby. It was a recording almost identical to her mother's voice, something no stranger could have known. Her mother had passed away years ago, and only a few close friends and family members even knew the exact tune. This meant the sender wasn't just thoughtful, they were someone who had dug deep into her past, someone who wanted her to remember. Was it comfort? Or was it a warning? The following week, another surprise came. At the backstage dressing room of her ongoing drama shoot, she found a second package waiting on her makeup table. This one was smaller, wrapped in the same minimalist style. Her hands shook as she opened it, and inside she found an old photograph, one she hadn't seen in decades. It was of her as a child, sitting on her mother's lap, laughing, the music box faintly visible in the background of the picture. The discovery left her stunned. Someone had access to intimate fragments of her life. Someone was piecing together her memories, placing them in front of her one by one like a trail leading to something bigger. Her co-stars noticed her change. Shu Kai, who had been working closely with her on set, later admitted in an interview that there were moments when Tan Songyun would stare off into space, clutching the music box with a look that blended fear, longing, and wonder. "It was as if she was in a place none of us could reach," he said softly, hinting that the gift had touched something raw inside her. Theories escalated. Some fans believed it was her late mother's best friend, someone fulfilling a promise. Others speculated it was an ex-lover trying to rekindle what once was. More daring fans suggested it was a fellow actor harboring a hidden affection, someone brave enough to express it in a way words never could. And then came the turning point. During a charity gala, Tan Songyun arrived wearing a stunning white gown, radiant as ever. But her glow carried a quiet intensity that night, as though she was waiting for something or someone. Halfway through the evening, when the lights dimmed and a video montage of charity work began to play on the big screen, the unexpected happened. The background music wasn't the usual instrumental arrangement. It was the same lullaby. The exact same melody from the music box. The audience gasped. Tan Songyun froze, her hand instinctively reaching for her clutch where the tiny box was hidden. Her eyes welled with tears. The organizers scrambled, claiming later that they had no idea how that track had been swapped in. No one admitted to it. But whoever orchestrated it knew she would be there, knew the impact it would have, and knew the world would witness her reaction. The room fell into silence, hundreds of people watching as Tan Songyun tried to maintain composure. A single tear slipped down her cheek, glistening under the spotlight. That moment, unrehearsed, raw, and vulnerable, became one of the most talked about highlights of her career. For once, it wasn't about acting. It was about truth. The following days were a whirlwind. Interviews, online speculation, theories, it all intensified. Fans camped outside her studio, holding music boxes of their own, playing the tune in unison as a gesture of support. Strangers mailed her letters, sharing their own stories of lost parents, childhood songs, and memories that never faded. The secret gift had transformed from a personal mystery into a global phenomenon of healing and remembrance. But who was behind it all? Some insiders whispered it was orchestrated by someone very close to her, someone who wanted to both comfort and test her resilience. Others claimed it was part of a larger plan, a project that would later reveal itself as a documentary about her life. Yet, to this day, Tan Songyun has never revealed the sender's identity. When asked, she simply said, "The person who gave it to me gave more than a gift. They gave me back a part of myself." And that's where the story leaves us, teetering between truth and speculation. The music box remains in her possession, seen occasionally in candid photos on her shelf, silently guarding its secret. Fans still debate endlessly, was it love, friendship, family, or perhaps destiny itself sending her a reminder of where she came from and who she still carries within her? What is undeniable, however, is the impact. In a world where celebrity news often drowns in scandals and superficial drama, the story of Tan Songyun's secret gift stood apart. It wasn't just about glamour. It was about memory, loss, and the unexplainable magic of a single object carrying the weight of 1,000 emotions. The present left everyone speechless, not because of its value, but because of its soul. And perhaps that is the real gift. The story of the mysterious music box had already gripped the hearts of millions, but the truth is, that first moment when Tan Songyun opened the box carried a weight that no headline could ever capture. It wasn't simply a gift, it was a puzzle, one wrapped not in paper and ribbon but in memories, secrets, and emotions too raw to explain. That night, after discovering the velvet case at her apartment door, Tan Songyun didn't sleep. She placed the box on her coffee table and sat cross-legged on the couch, her hands resting on her knees, staring at it as though it were alive. The tune still lingered faintly in the air, even though the box had stopped playing. It was haunting, echoing around her mind. Her apartment felt colder, quieter, as if the gift itself had stolen the room's warmth. With every hour that passed, her thoughts grew heavier. Who knew this lullaby? Who had the power to bring back something so deeply buried? By 3 a.m., unable to hold back her emotions, she called her childhood friend, someone who had known her since before the fame, before the cameras. The friend's voice was groggy with sleep, but when Songyun hummed the tune through the phone, there was silence on the other end. Finally, her friend whispered, "That song, only your mother sang it that way. Nobody else. Whoever gave you that gift, they know you better than you think." The words made her skin prickle. She hung up, but the night felt endless, filled with a mix of nostalgia and unease. When dawn finally crept through her curtains, she was still wide awake, the music box untouched yet commanding all her attention. The following day on set, Tan Songyun tried to carry on as if nothing had happened. Cameras rolled, lines were delivered, and she smiled in her usual radiant way. But those closest to her noticed the change. During breaks, she would drift into silence, her gaze fixed far away. Makeup artists whispered about the strange tension in her eyes, while crew members noticed her fingers subconsciously tracing invisible patterns on her lap as though she was replaying the melody over and over again. Then came the first moment that left everyone around her speechless. During one of her emotional scenes, where her character had to cry while remembering a loved one, something shifted. She broke down in tears so raw, so unfiltered, that even the director stopped the cameras. It wasn't acting, it was real. The entire room went silent. The crew exchanged glances, realizing that something personal had cracked open inside her. Later, Shu Kai, her co-star, would confess in an interview, "That day, I knew something was different about her. She wasn't performing anymore, she was reliving something we couldn't see." Back in her dressing room after the shoot, Tan Songyun found herself alone. She reached into her bag and pulled out the music box she had secretly brought with her. She placed it on her vanity table, winding it up softly. The tune filled the small space, delicate yet piercing. As the notes played, tears rolled down her cheeks silently. She whispered, almost to herself, "Mama, is this you? Is this your way of reaching me?" The staff outside, unaware of what was happening inside, continued their chatter, while within those four walls, Tan Songyun's heart carried a weight no one else could understand. Days passed, but the gift remained the center of her thoughts. The industry buzzed with speculation, fans created theories online, and journalists grew relentless. Yet what no one knew was that Songyun had begun to notice small, subtle signs in her daily life, signs that seemed connected to the gift. Once, while stepping out of her car late at night, she heard a faint humming in the distance. The same lullaby. She froze, her breath hitching, her eyes darting into the shadows. The street was empty, yet the sound lingered before fading away. Another time, while scrolling through an old box of childhood keepsakes at home, she found a letter her mother had written years ago. In it, her mother mentioned a promise that no matter how far apart they were, she would always find a way to remind her of their song. Could this gift have been part of that promise? One particular evening solidified the mystery further. Tan Songyun attended a quiet dinner with close friends. They laughed, shared stories, and for a few precious hours, she felt lighter. But as the dinner wrapped up and she stepped outside, she spotted something at the entrance of the restaurant. Another small package. Wrapped in the same simple paper. Her heart raced as she picked it up. Her friends exchanged nervous looks, already aware of the ongoing whispers surrounding her. She unwrapped it quickly, her hands trembling. Inside was a folded piece of paper. On it, written in elegant handwriting, was a single line. "The song is not forgotten, and neither are you." Her friends gasped, stunned. Songyun clutched the note to her chest, her face pale yet glowing with a strange mix of fear and longing. The gift was no longer just a gesture, it was a conversation, a dialogue between her and someone hidden in the shadows. That night, as she sat alone with both the note and the music box, she whispered, "Whoever you are, you've touched a part of me I thought I lost forever." The walls of her apartment echoed her words, silent but heavy with meaning. In the weeks that followed, the story grew. Fans recreated the lullaby online, entire orchestras played covers of it, and her name trended daily. But beneath all the noise, the truth remained untouched, the identity of the sender, the reason for the timing, and the meaning behind the gesture. Only Tan Songyun knew how deeply it had shaken her. And perhaps that is why the moment became so unforgettable. The world saw an actress known for her bright smile and gentle nature suddenly unravel into a woman holding onto fragments of her past, pieces of her soul being handed back to her through a simple gift. The first gift, the music box, was more than wood and melody. It was a mirror of her childhood, a bridge to her mother, and a key to emotions she had long buried. And that is why it left not just Tan Songyun, but everyone who witnessed her reaction, utterly speechless. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more mind-blowing celebrity stories that keep you on the edge of your seat.